Welcome to my broadcast. It's just coming up to 10 o'clock GMT on Tuesday the 16th of May 2023. With the Imola Grand Prix this weekend, I'm doing the playing on the F1 Manager 22 game, and we are doing the Mercedes career. Mercedes had a pretty poor time of it last year. Imola was 4th on the calendar last year. This year it's 6th on the calendar. And Russell was 4th and Hamilton was 13th. But Hamilton did start in 14th place, and Russell started in 11th. So there was quite a good result for Russell, actually. It was a wet Grand Prix. Verstappen won by just over 16 seconds. Norris got a podium. He was 3rd. Okay, so as part of my free stream Tuesday, I'm doing 2 other streams today. Second stream is dealing with the World Endurance Championship, which Le Mans is part of, and that will be Gran Turismo Sport game, driving in a Toyota for an hour and getting a free car because I will have driven a marathon on that game. Okay, so let's have a look at the inbox. What sort of thing has to be done then? So flag that one. I'm going to vote for that one. Overview of the Australian Grand Prix. We did well. Engine cooling should be looked at, so we'll look at that. Then when you go down the car parts, you'll see it highlight up. So engine cooling, you'll see it highlight up certain things. You'll see that the chassis does deal with engine cooling right at the bottom. What else? Side pods, but they're being manufactured anyway. So side pods and chassis of engine cooling, but there's manufacturing parts, designing parts going on. So we can't do much with that really. Always head back to your inbox, because otherwise if you miss stuff, you'll miss out on things to do. Flag the mail with an L, your left joystick and push it down, that's L3. R2 to continue. Okay. Manufacture a new version of the suspension. Now, can't do anything because there's something going on with that, so I can't do that. Come back to the inbox again. R2 to get us going. So side pods is designed. Car research is unlocked. Side pods. Okay, so we manufacture the side pods. And remember, they're good for engine cooling. So let's do 4 start that project. Right, R2 again. Let's have a look at the circuit info. What I'm looking for is the 29 seconds in the pits. Performance targets. Always do your performance targets every race. Pretty certain I can reach Q3. Some money for that. Race targets. Find a position. Finish the race in at least 6th position with at least one driver. That's fastest lap there as well. Qualifying position streak 3 or 4. Qualify 8 or higher for 4 races in a row with at least one driver. Finish position. Finish 4 races in a row with at least one driver. Starting at least 8th position. Okay, that's right. Check the powertrain, which is the engine, ERS and gearbox. Make sure you've got a good enough engine and the other parts. So 66%, 80%, 68% now. Is there any engine we can change to? There is. There's a 100% one. Gearbox, can we change the gearbox? Yes, we can. Oh, car 2. Engine, low. EOS, okay. Gearbox, the same. Can we change the gearbox on there? Yes, we can. Can we change the gearbox? Okay, there you go. So just confirm that. Go back to the cars again. Car 1. Engine 100%. EOS is 80. Gearbox 100%. Car 2. Engine 100%. EOS 80%. And gearbox 100%. So that's good. That's all good. So always be designing parts and always be manufacturing, and you always get reminders about manufacturing anyway from the emails. So it's important you do that. Make sure you don't run on very low engines and gearboxes.
The hills of Tuscany are green to the south, but here in Imola the air is red hot. Welcome to Ferrari's turn for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The track has been around since the 60s, but the first official Formula One race was held here in 1980. Let's see what excitement lies ahead this year. This is Imola, and it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
So I am going to practice. In Imola last year, it was changeable conditions in practice 1 and qualifying and in the race. So that's why I'm going to do that. We manage P1. First of all, let's see if the weather's going to be an issue. Minimal chance of rain in the next few minutes, so we'll go out on these conditions. They're the best. Mercedes in this game are doing quite well. Their objective is not to win the title, it's to come second or third, I think. We'll look at that later on. Let's watch Hamilton come out. In the meantime, let's send Russell out as well. Temperature's pretty low, 24.9 on the track. Okay. Do is we'll fast forward it a little bit. There'll be a set run plan for the drivers.
Who's running wide there?
Give us a balance check, balance check.
That doesn't feel great.
Okay, copy.
So they're asking the engineer's asking about the car setup, and Hamilton says it's not great, and they'll be asking Russell the same question in a minute. Car setup is something that obviously is, when you simulate a session, is done automatically, but I'm going to show you about it because it's important. They should be asking Russell the same question in a minute. That's what he's saying there. Similar sort of emotions from Russell there. Anyway, they'll be coming into the pits soon. You'll see in a minute. As we've got over 40 minutes left, I'm not going to cancel, call them in. I'm just going to let them complete their allotted laps. Maybe fast forward it a little bit. There we go. In the garage. We'll slow it down. In the garage now. So, if you want to change anything, you reconfigure. So, we should reconfigure Hamilton's. So his setup confidence is 45%. Now, you've got to tinker with this. So basically, You can see that his straights and traction are great, and the rest are bad. So you've got those options on the left hand side: front wing angle, rear wing angle, anti-roll distribution, tyre camber and toe out. So you want to be pushing the three bad sections: oversteer, braking stability and cornering. You want to be pushing them to the right. So what you do is you play around with those wings on the left and you see what happens. Now that goes there, but then you see it goes left for the braking stability. So what do we do here? Let's go. You can make minor changes there. And toe camber brings that out. So what we do is we're reconfiguring, so we'll take tyres. We've got plenty of soft tyres. You see we've got just 3 mediums and only 2 hards. So when you do your practice, do be aware that you have enough tyres left for the weekend. So the purpose now is to see whether they like the setup. The reconfiguring can take a little while, so I've fast forwarded it. So we've got 35 minutes left anyway, so there's plenty of time.
I think we've had a car run wide.
Slow it down again. So let's go to Russell now. So let's do the tyres first. This time 200%. Car setup. His car setup is 41%, so it's not as good. He's got great for the bottom 2 and bad for the top 3, so very similar to Hamilton. So let's see if we can push those values right. No, you see it takes away from the straights a bit there. So okay, we'll go for that. Can always change it again. So reconfigure what Russell's doing.
Sounds like someone's gone wide there.
Fast forward it down to about, say, 5 minutes, and then we shall see if they're asking about the setup. Aha, here we go.
So balance check when you can.
Do whatever you need to do. I'm not going to go faster.
Yeah, okay, copy.
Hamilton not particularly happy there. Actually, you can fast forward it and the radio broadcast will interrupt it. See what Russell has to say.
Balance check.
Good stuff. That was very good.
Okay, so Russell's happy with his setup. Okay. Interesting. They're both in the garages, and we'll just finish off P1.
I think someone's run wide.
So that's it for the session.
So despite Hamilton being upset with his balance, he's still third, and Russell was fifth. Russell seemed a little happy with his balance, his car setup. Now you'll see Hamilton's car setup is 35% and Russell is 64%. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to run this session. You can revert to the highest position confidence, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to practice 2, but I'm going to simulate the session this time. Hamilton's 6th and Russell's 7th, okay. Sepcom is 71 and Hamilton's is 56. That's pretty good.
We'll be kicking off today with the final practice.
I'm going to simulate that session as well. Hamilton 5th and Russell 8th. And see the confidence now, 64% for Hamilton and 76% for Russell. That's good. Qualifying. We will simulate this session, I think. Sixth and 7th. I think I'm going to simulate this session as well. I expect us to get through 6th and 8th. And then what we'll do is we will manage qualifying 3. See if we can get through to...
Please give us a radio check on the backup radio.
Yeah, all good.
So let's have a look, temperature-wise. Quite a bit hotter with chances of rain in about 8 minutes. Best of the conditions now. Now the track grip is very high. It may be that I will use mediums, not to qualify, but to basically test. Because if you have high tyre grip, hards and mediums are a good option. You're unlikely to qualify on them, but sometimes you can. So what we'll do is anyway, get on with it, and we'll send out Hamilton first. So welcome to my broadcast. It's just gone 10:24 GMT with the Imola Grand Prix this weekend. I'm playing on the F1 Manager 2022 and we are doing the Mercedes career. Mercedes had a bad race last year. Russell finished 4th but started 11th, and Hamilton finished 13th but started 14th, so hoping to avoid that. The setups were not great for them in the practice, but they've been sorted out now. Got through to Q1 and Q2. Last year there was rain in qualifying and the race. I'm managing the 3rd qualifying, and what I just said is, although I might not qualify on the tyre, I might try the medium tyres, because when the grip is very high, or high as it says on there, mediums are a good tyre to start on, so I would like to get some sort of practice on them. Not likely to qualify on them, fastest time, but sometimes you can. Just deserted Russell there. So this is part of a free stream Tuesday. I might do a free stream Thursday, and I'm trying to do a full stream Friday, but probably not this Friday. So there's 3 streams and 3 different motorsports today. We start with F1 and the F1 Manager 22 game. Then we move on to the World Endurance Championship, which includes obviously the forthcoming Le Mans in June, and we'll be going to be driving a Toyota at the Le Mans circuit for 1 hour, and we are going to get a free car because we will have driven a marathon of miles. 26 plus miles gets you a free car. And finally we'll end with NASCAR, where we will drive as the winner at the weekend, William Byron, at Darlington, and so we'll be doing that as a race. I won the last time out as William Byron, but at Las Vegas, so I hope to win again. So 3 different sports, 3 different motorsports, I occasionally do FIFA. I've been doing recently. Can't really predict when I'll do that. I'll just do it from time to time. My main focus now is on the World Endurance Championship, so I drive other cars games like Project Cars 2, Gran Turismo 7 occasionally Assetto Corsa Competizione, and looking forward to obviously the new F1 game 23, and looking forward to driving on the Las Vegas circuit. So at the moment, Hamilton's just hit a purple sector on the 3rd sector. That means that's the best of anyone on this lap, and hence he's gone to the top of a 1:16.226. Still got the big hitters, Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen and Perez to go. Temperature wise, it's only 26.6 degrees centigrade. As I say, what I'm going to try and do is do 1 lap on mediums if I get a chance. That is likely to be the choice of tyre at this race. It's a 63 lap race, and last year, because of the rain, they started on intermediates. Leclerc's just taken over from Hamilton, and Russell is heading in now. So Russell is done better than Hamilton. That's interesting. Okay. Hamilton's back in the garage. Temperature is important. Sometimes maybe you can look at the temperature and go out at the right time. if we look at the actual weather conditions, it's going to get... We've only got 5 minutes left, and it's going to get a lot hotter. Chances of rain. So it's probably a good idea to go out. And you see the track run was very high, so I could send him out for 1 medium. What are we doing? A 1 minute 15. Okay. Do is... So what I'm hoping to do is get Hamilton out for a medium to get some practice. He won't likely do better, but I can take a note of how much difference there is between the medium and the soft. So I hope to get him in 1 lap and hopefully out again for another on softs. It's going to be tight because he's going to take... Meanwhile, Russell, we're going to go for it because he's on there. And you see, the danger of simulating is I haven't actually got 100% for a tyre. That is not good. That's poor tyre allocation. I'm part of that as well. It's not very good. You should have at least a soft of 100. And I haven't. Okay. Russell is 5th. He's 90, and that's 75, and that's 88. Okay. So it looks like 5th and 6th. So let's fast forward that.
So that's it for the session.
So 5th and 6th, okay. So, okay, maybe I could have improved Hamilton's time, but he's got some practice on the mediums, which I think is good. But Russell is going to start above him, which he did last year.
And final preparations are underway.
So now we get on with the race. Good chance of a safety car, I think, on this track. It's a difficult track. So now 63 laps. So slightly different strategies. They're both going to start on mediums. So start on the mediums there. But as I consider Hamilton a better driver than Russell, let's look. Yeah, so there's the strategy there. As I consider Hamilton a better driver than Russell, I think he's going to go longer on the mediums, not by much. So you can see that's the default setting. So that's recommended. And that says there's going to be a pit window of 23 to 29. Now, I consider Hamilton good with time management, so I'm going to start my own strategy. So it's going to start with mediums. Add the stint. And was it 63? So we're going to take it to... First thing we're going to do is going to change that to softs. Okay. And then what you do is click on that, extend it out. So I'm going to do like 35 laps. You can change and override your strategy at any time. So that will be the deal for he's got strategy GD. Now, Russell, going to keep it straightforward. Just going to stick with what they say, which is 23 to 29 laps, medium and hard. So we can select that. So that's sort of scientifically worked out. So it's quite accurate. Can be overridden again, of course. I think there's going to be a safety car. We do that, and you'll see they're both for strategy. So Hamilton is on strategy D, which has been created, and strategy A is a defaulted strategy for Russell. Hamilton will be going longer on the mediums, and Russell will be going shorter on the mediums and be going on the hards. And Hamilton's going to try and get his first stint out to about 35 laps, and then go on the softs. Okay, so the confidences have changed. You see, 64% for Hamilton and 76% for Russell. That's good. And okay.
Now we should have good weather. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Straight away, let's have a look at Hamilton, because obviously Hamilton is against his own teammate, and Hamilton's already overtaken Russell. Wow, I didn't see that. Oh no, he isn't. Oh, there he is. There, no, he is. There's a heck of a battle with Russell going on. So if we go back, we can have a look, and there's Russell and Hamilton together. Oh, got to be careful with what they're doing there. I may have to issue some commands. No, that's not good. That's not good from Russell. I'm going to... there's battling and there's... is it too early to issue that sort of command? No, I don't think so. Not, it is now. It's alright now. I'm not going to issue that command because he's backed off a bit, but that was getting a bit... there's already a yellow flag, but nothing's come of it. Meanwhile, Hamilton is having a great start. He's hit the fastest lap. You can see the fastest lap there. That's that little timer in purple to the right of his name. So Hamilton is flying. So pretty much this is what they would expect Mercedes. If they got 5th and 6th, they wouldn't be disappointed. That is their aim, to or somehow split the other teams, Ferrari and Red Bull, but equally be able to be above Alonso. Alonso is driving for Alpine here with Ocon. Of course, he's with Aston Martin. Has had a fantastic start to the season, the double world champion. He's had 4 podiums in 5 races. So now it's settled down a bit. Russell is not as aggressive battling with Hamilton. So there you'll see on Russell's graph, there's a graph there, and that will show you the pit window. You'll see it there.
DRS has been enabled.
So at the moment we just let it trundle along. So you can look at any driver you like. Now if you want to play the game and you need to do that, it's most important that you know about this command. So you'll see to the right of interval a little black square. That is the pad in the middle of your controller. You must be able to know where that is and what to do with it, otherwise you have no chance of doing much with this game. Press it down gently and you'll see it highlights in white. From there you can do leader, tyres, pits, sectors, last lap and interval. Let's start with the interval. So that is the exact gaps between each car, basically. That's different than the leader. That is the gap from the leader. So that's exact time. So regarding the pitting, it's likely to be Russell first because that's on his strategy. So what I'll be looking for is the gaps between Russell and others. But it's going to be quite a tight race, I think. Leclerc has the fastest lap now. Russell's will be a much more straightforward strategy than Hamilton's because I have to work it out when to come in. Russell will be asked to come in on the pit window, which is I think 23 laps. So what we'll do is we shall fast forward the action a little bit.
We've just had a car run wide.
Meanwhile, nothing's happening with the...
Did someone run wide there?
Nice gap to Alonso from Russell. He's doing a good job in 6th.
Mercedes moved up a place.
And Hamilton overtakes Perez. We'll have to look at that one.
Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one.
That's an excellent overtake. That's not an easy place to overtake. Hamilton is charging. He's up to 4th, is he now?
The driver's team there cheering them on.
Hamilton's up to 4th, and significantly he is above the Red Bull now. That is excellent work. And Russell is just settling in nicely to 6th.
Had a car run wide.
There's a few cars running wide. It could suggest that some people are going to be pitting soon. And Hamilton, Russell could be. Perez has overtaken Hamilton this time.
So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez.
Oh wow, that's even better overtake. So those two are having a real ding-dong battle there. Now there's a yellow flag. What's that for? No, okay. So
They've gone wide.
oh, Hamilton's just gone. Let's have a look at this.
Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
Oh dear.
They've taken that far too wide, and now they're paying the price.
Maybe Hamilton's overdoing it. He's going very quickly. Now Russell is right behind him, and it's up for grabs again, their battle. Let's have a look at Russell's camera view. Six laps for Russell until he comes in. You'll see at the moment. So what you've got to do is try and pit into a sort of gap. But there's not many gaps there. It's 29 seconds for this for pit lanes average. So you'll see that there isn't really any gaps at all. So the next thing to do would be, not necessarily for Hamilton but more for Russell, is to react to the first pitters. Russell's having a go at Hamilton here. This is very much like before. I'm not going to issue any orders here. They're going to let them carry out. But if it gets too aggressive from Russell, I will issue a don't fight routine orders. They're lapping about the same times, obviously. So let's have a look at the tyres then. About 5 or 6 laps until Russell comes in. Let's work out who's going to pit. So Sainz, Verstappen and Perez on hards, so they're going to be going quite a way, which is why I need to take Hamilton as long as I can on the mediums. Alonso is on mediums, Ocon is on mediums, Bottas is on mediums. So I'm thinking that we're going to go past 25 laps, 23 laps. So the pit window will open soon. They will say about it. At the moment, there's not a lot to do really. Just have to let it carry on. Meanwhile, let's have a look if there's any other gap battles going on. So that's the gap between each other. So Verstappen and Sainz. Any others? Russell's just taken Hamilton. So it's fair to say Russell's strategy is not going to be, I don't think, anything near the strategy we set for him. He's going to stay out like Hamilton. They're still battling away. You can't issue orders at the moment unless one of them takes too much of a risk. They're so tight together. Fair but good battling. And Hamilton's taken that position back. Let's have a look at Verstappen and Sainz. There they are. There, he's just half a second. He could very well be. Not the time yet for Verstappen, but he's going to do it soon. Probably along the straight coming up. Okay, maybe not that. So in the meantime, what's the gaps? Hamilton, Russell's got about a 4-second gap to Alonso, 8 seconds to Ocon, 9 seconds to Bottas. So Main thing to do is look for the lap times. Are they going up and down? Last laps, etc. See, Russell is lapping quicker than Hamilton there. The only thing to look for now is he significantly... So he's setting green best sectors is Russell and Hamilton, so there's no need to do any tyre strategy with those two at the moment. It's only when those sort of times dip a bit. Or as I say, react to the actual other people pitting, which is still quite a way off. Everyone's in around the 60% mark. Say Hamilton went a bit wide there. I think Russell's going to overtake him again. Yeah, and Hamilton isn't quick enough to be told that he is has the right as the number one driver, so they still need to keep battling away. Again, Russell is best sector again. It may be that Hamilton will be pulled quicker than Russell here. It depends. Yeah, so you can see the tyres there, 70% mostly, 60% for mediums and hards. They're all going to be going at least, I would have thought, 10 laps on the mediums, and hards obviously a lot more. The idea for the ones on the hards would be to last until the time they can put softs on. That is, assume there is no safety car. Mediums maybe going long enough to get hards, or maybe even long enough to get softs. That's the sort of strategy that Hamilton set for himself. We set him. Still best sectors by both. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the gap. So the gap to Alonso is 4.6. No need to pull him at all at the moment. The only thing I'll be watching is the gap between Russell and Alonso. Is it going up and down? And Ocon as well. So 29 seconds for a pit stop. So 8, 19, 21, 23. Could pit Russell into about 14th place. Now we just entered the pit strategy. Now it just happens to be that he has... Let's have a look at Russell. He could pit into about 14th. If he doesn't improve on this lap, I probably will pull him. That's a great advantage of being able to watch the driver, is watching him now. He's very close to pit stop, so I could pull him into the pits now. I'm not going to, but I should be quick enough to be able to do it. Leave it now. One more lap. Let's see what he's like on this lap. .430, just not far off Hamilton's. we could get Hamilton to not fight with him. That's the point. That's it. Okay. That means we'll get him to the pits quicker. And we'll have just under 40 laps to go. So you can see that 28 laps for softs. Hards will go on.
Okay,
So we issued the team order to let Russell go through because he's going to pit first.
yes, Fox.
I'm reckoning Russell's going to come out around 14th. I don't think Hamilton's going to stay out as long as I want him to. So 28 laps on softs. So I'm going to take Hamilton another 10 laps. Check out if we can do that or not. So one of the first in as well. So that could trigger activity from the rest of them. It's not a bad pit stop. It's under sub 3 seconds. That's not bad. Let's see where he comes out. He's come out better than I thought he would, actually. Nope. Okay, so he's battling with this lot for 10th place. That's not bad. It's not a bad place to come out. It's not easy.
Not good for Mercedes. They've lost multiple positions.
No, Scissor lost 2 possessions. I'm not going to worry about that. That's an old replay.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Yeah, Russell overtakes Magnussen. Let's check the tyres. Yep, I'm the first one to pit. I'm on the hards. I'll go to the end. Let's have a look at the gaps between. Anyway, let's look at Hamilton. Hamilton's already still getting best sectors, so I'm going to keep him out. So I'm hoping to keep him out to about 35 laps to go on to softs. But what will change is if people pit before me, I will react. At the moment, there's no real sign of that, as they're all 65%. Leclerc might pit. Well, he's got a 9-second lead, the 10 seconds from Sainz. So the only thing to do is see if Hamilton is being chased, seeing if Alonso's closer to Hamilton. And that may dictate my strategy. So if Hamilton pitted now, 5:10, 22, he'd probably come out very close to Russell. Hards will guarantee him going to the end of the race, but I would rather try and go to the softs. Softs are obviously the quicker tyre and the less durable. They go for about 28 laps, so I need to aim for 35 laps with Hamilton. And his actual pit strategy is 35. So they will be, you can see that, close to the soft. They'll be talking about the window soon. Again, I don't think anyone's really going to pit for a little while yet.
Great job.
Meanwhile, Russell is 12 seconds behind Russell, Bottas.
For Mercedes.
But again, they've got a pit, so remember 29 seconds for a pit stop. No sign of a safety car yet. if there was a safety car and Hamilton was on softs and Russell was on hards, they would not change those tyres. They would be perfect for that scenario. Hamilton is maintaining that lead. Probably the first person to pit will be Leclerc, 51%. And maybe that will be the time to go. We've got 7 laps left.
Your fastest man on track.
There you go, Russell's got the fastest lap. So Russell might go down to about 40% tyres again. I'm waiting to see what the rest do. That is the target, 35 laps. Get him on the softs. Okay, so Hamilton's times are going down, but are they going down enough to worry about? That's the question. Last lap, Hamilton 1:21.364. And also, it's already a second behind Perez. It's better than Alonso, and it's better than Ocon, and it's better than Bottas. So although they are not the best sectors for himself, looking at his lap times, they still quicken the rest. So there's no point pitting until his lap times start going significantly down. Over 6 seconds of Alonso now, so we'll watch out for that gap. I'm going to stick to my strategy. If the others come in, so Russell, there's 10 seconds from Bottas to Russell, but again, Russell was the first to pit, and the rest of them haven't pitted yet. Is that right? Yeah, no one's pitted apart from Russell. So he should make up quite a few places. So Hamilton now about 5 laps away from pitting.
Is imminent.
Understood.
Now, let's have a look at the weather forecast. What that's going to do. It's going to be a lot of rain in 8 minutes. No. And track water, which is the blue one, there's going to be track water from lap 35 onwards. Is that enough to be intermediates? No, this is going to be very interesting now. So now we've got to factor in the rain now, which could be around the time that Hamilton pits. Maybe he'll be pitting on intermediates. Russell Russell is absolutely flying on his hards. Now the hards could stay out on the rain a little bit. Being the most durable tyres are not ideal. And it looks like, so it looks like we're going to have no safety car. So, what do we pit
Sounds like
onto?
someone's gone wide there.
Could pit into 10th for Hamilton. It's going to rain in a minute. It's going to rain. You can see on lap. You can see the blue part of the graph. There's going to be water all the way to the end. But is that going to be intermediates or wets? Possibly intermediates. No. You can't go out too soon, otherwise you will not be able to do a good lap times, but equally you can't go too late. Russell, okay, stay out on the hards. Probably will have to come in for intermediates, but he's making up a lot of time at the moment. Hamilton's in his pit window.
It looks like the rain may be starting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be intermediates for Hamilton. There's enough to suggest it's a strategy conflict. Yes, it is.
Box.
He's going to go in before the rest of them, though. So see, the rain is coming down. And you can see the rain is going down, so same with Russell.
Okay, so box.
Others are coming in. Some of the hards, I guess, are going to stay out. I don't know if that was a good idea. You can see that the weather, 1 millimetre. Russell's coming in, Hamilton is out. With hards of 56%, they could stay out, aside Verstappen and Alonso. Alonso's going to have to come in. So I think we've probably got the right strategy there. So it's Verstappen to come to the pits. Leclerc is staying out on mediums. Don't think it's going to get to the wets with the weather forecast. 1.26. Here comes Alonso. Sorry, not Alonso. Here comes Russell. In hindsight, maybe I should have not put him on hards. If I knew the weather's coming, I could have perhaps put it on soft, maybe. Anyway, he's in. It's 2.8. Not bad. So now it's... Let's have a look at the forecast. You'll see that blue line says that it's track water. 1.2. If you get past 4 millimetres, you should go onto the wets. I think the strategy is pretty good. I'm surprised Leclerc hasn't come in. Perez, not so surprised with being on hards. But we don't know if they've made a good decision. Leclerc is coming into the pits now. Let's have a look at his pit. Don't think I can see his pit stop anyway. You can see where he comes out though. Perez is just pitting as well. So everyone's pretty much on intermediates now. Where is Leclerc going to come out?
Perez in the pit lane.
Leclerc is coming out. No, he's dropped a few positions. Has he not? No, there must be ones there must be ones that he's to lap. So Leclerc is second. Let's look at Perez, see where he comes out. So it's intermediates, and it was intermediates last year, so that's quite interesting. They started on intermediates last year, and this year it looks like they're going to end on intermediates. And Hamilton, it's now a battle of intermediates. I shouldn't think there'd be any more pit stops. So we've got 5th place. Need to get Russell up the board.
Tires are getting hot.
Okay, copy.
I think in hindsight I should have pitted Russell onto softs when he came in, knowing that there would be wet conditions. I made a mistake there, I think. But Hamilton, quite happy with this strategy. Anything could happen with the rain, obviously, coming down. Trying to overtake is risky at the best of time on this track, but with the rain conditions, are people going to do it? Hamilton's going to have a go. Let's have a look at Russell. Okay, so Russell's chasing down Ocon. It's 1.13 millimeters, so I'm pretty certain it's not going to go into wet conditions. If it dries any further, then maybe there will be another pit stop right at the very end. At the moment, just simply going on the meters, but the gap's coming down to Ocon, which is good. So Sainz, oh, hang on. The safety car won't make much difference. You could get another set of intermediates. So Sainz is leading Leclerc by 7.6 seconds. Verstappen is within DRS territory. Perez is another 15 seconds off the lead, and Hamilton is chasing down Perez.
Someone's run wide.
It's going to be a safety car, I think. A lot going on. Now, the only person who could possibly go... no, still no safety car. Now Russell has got Ocon in his sights, and this is excellent. He's got 2 of them. And that's another back marker. He's driving well though. should get Ocon. So yeah, the only thing that could happen with the tyres is when the track dries, it may be that you can go for the last part of the race onto, well, softs, mediums or hards really, as long as it's dry. At the moment we're not at that situation. Again, there's another yellow flag. Now if there's a pit stop,
And that's a lockup.
if there's a yellow flag, making great progress on Ocon. He should be taking him soon. Just say these videos, they eventually do get updated to uploaded rather to YouTube. As I've had controller issues, I felt they weren't good to put on YouTube, so I may be going straight direct to YouTube fairly soon on certain games, particularly this one. So look out for that. Follow me on Twitter at SportyPH2, and then you'll see my YouTube link, which is quite easy to remember. As against the old ones, it's youtube.com/@PHASTPH. So he's chasing down Ocon, and that looks like he'll get 8th place. And then there's quite a gap to Bottas. It's looking very dark, the clouds, so I'm wondering if we'll get any more rain. Let's have a look at the weather forecast. So we got moderate rain for the next 11 minutes. Track water is going up. It's going to keep mostly, you see the track water, the blue line on the graph. You can see that it projects to the end of the race, and it's pretty much going to stay the way it is. So it's, I should think it's intermediates all the way. Let's have a look at the actual leaderboard. So currently Hamilton is 25 seconds behind the leader, and Russell is 50 seconds behind the leader. So we should end up with 5th and 8th, I'd say. But anything could happen. Just stay on the track. Don't come off, and you never know what could happen. There could be 1 or 2 more crashes in front of me. You just don't know. Now you can visibly see what's going on. You see the rain on the helmet. Now he's waiting to take Ocon. Behind Ocon is, sorry, behind Russell is Gasly, and Gasly is now at Alpine with Ocon, the 2 Frenchmen. Aston Martin have gained Alonso from the Alpine team. So now Russell within striking distance now, but he must time it well. It's not easy to overtake on the track, particularly with the wet conditions, so let's see what he does. Oh wow, just noticed the dampness, 3.63. Now we've got another decision to make. If it goes over 4, we'll be on some wets. Let's have a look at that track thing. Okay, so it's going up. From now, it's going to go up a little bit more. Oh, it's so hard to work out which are going to come with the damps. Wet tracks for 4. Oh, this is a good test for my track strategy. Could be up to wets. Now, wets would be able to cope with sort of intermediate conditions, but if you put them first. Well, Hamilton could pit into 8th. Will others follow suit? This is the question. It's going up a lot now. I think Russell has to stay where he is, but we could put Hamilton onto wets. Yeah, I think Hamilton's going to go onto wets.
So box.
Gonna box this up.
Yep, change to wet. I think Russell, we could do the same as well. No, I think we'll keep Russell out. He's further back, so... Hamilton.
Who's running wide there?
It's wet conditions now, so... Hamilton comes out 7th place. Russell are pitting behind Russell. Yeah, I think Russell should do as well. Could struggle to get home with the intermediates. Conditions are not going to get any better. Alonso hasn't pitted yet. Bottas hasn't pitted yet. Sainz is pitted. Let's have a look at Sainz. You can see that it's getting below 4, so you can technically still stay out on the intermediates. But in 85%, in 4 minutes' time, is 85% of rain. You can see that on the right-hand side. So and we have safety car.
Sounds like there's been contact.
That's not
Here's the
surprising.
replay.
Let's see what
Now
happens.
watch this. Here's the moments involving Albon.
Let me just
Oh no!
smash from the
Here's
back there.
crash. Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that later.
So last year, the actual temperatures at the end were... Track temperatures were 15 to 18 degrees last year. Say last year the rain started first, it went on intermediates. This year it's intermediates at the end, and wets as well. So some of the intermediates, high percentage, might have made the right decision.
It's a big shunt, big shunt.
It's got to be a safety car soon, surely. Let's have a look what's happened there.
Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris. There's the crash.
Now the question is there debris to... He's off the track. Is there any debris? No, there isn't. Okay, so... There's a lot of people now. Sainz is in the pits. Here he comes.
Cool the tires as much as you can.
Let's have a look where Sainz comes out. A few overtaking Sainz there. I'm not sure if they're back markers or not. That Sainz is settled into 5th place. Well, he's going on intermediate, so I didn't really have that choice. I have 90. Hamilton has 96% wets against 82% intermediates. Not sure if I made the right decision. Let's have a look at the gaps. Last lap, Hamilton 126.538. Yeah, okay. Got 6 seconds to Ocon, Hamilton, 4 behind Bottas. The battle will be for Hamilton to beat Ocon, which is not going to be easy because he's going to be gaining a little bit on those. Yeah, Ocon's got 81% intermediates against Hamilton's 95%. So difficult to work out really because it was heading towards Ford. It was over 4 millimeters for the wets. As long as I end up with 6th, 7th place. And where's Russell? Russell is 9th. 2 in the top 10 I'll be happy with. Especially in such a rain affected race. There goes Sainz. There's Ocon, he's got a lot of gaps. And Russell. There's no real chance, no real point to in any further from here on. Hamilton could pit. It's 30 seconds. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let's go to the end. So what we're looking for is...
We've had a big crash here.
Understood.
So yellow, yellow.
Yeah.
Now Bottas has gone out. Okay. Let's have a look at that.
Now we see Valtteri Bottas.
So Bottas was on the intermediates, high percentage, but clearly
Oh, a nasty crash
he
there.
wasn't able to control. So staying out the wets is not a bad idea.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
There's a lot of locking up going on. Meanwhile, it's 2.5 millimeters and going down, but then the rain is going to be 85% in a minute, so it'll go up again, presumably. Bottas is pitted, so that should bring Russell and Hamilton up a little bit, or bring Hamilton up certainly, and then Russell could come up. Let's have a look at Bottas in the pits. That seems to have taken a long time. So where does Bottas come out? Let's have a look where he is. He comes out behind Hamilton, and
Just do what you can.
where is Russell in relation to him? Russell's 9 seconds down the track. So there's the gaps now. Hamilton can possibly take Ocon in 6th. Russell is like to stay in 9th. He's got a nice gap to Gasly. So it should be 6th and 9th we should get. If there was a safety car, maybe we'd change to intermediates. Let's have a look at the track conditions. So, again, the green line is not predicted to get any higher. It's going to go downwards. Okay, yeah. Tyre strategy wise, what we got now? Tyres, Hamilton's got 88% wets and Russell's got 89% wets. And I think that would be at 7th. Let's just watch Hamilton.
Tires are getting hot.
Okay, copy.
So does that mean he should go on to intermediates? Difficult one. Has he got a gap to go into? He's 19 seconds behind Bottas. Bottas is 19 seconds behind Hamilton. Hamilton could pit before Russell. What's Russell got with him? What gap has Russell got there? Interval. Russell, 25 seconds. Are they likely to? Yeah, they're both overheating. That's a difficult one now. It is not likely to get any higher. Might be an idea to pull Hamilton. It's a very difficult one to do. We do know the intermediates will get home.
Okay, Lewis, so we'll box.
So this lap.
And I think we'll do the same with Russell, just to make sure they get home.
Box.
May have a crash, so
Yes, box.
just coming up to the pits soon. Come around the corner and be turning left. Pits on the right hand side. So we did this because they were worrying about the warmth in the tyres. It may stop us getting the position I wanted, but equally we'll get home safely. Should get out before Gasly, I think. Where is Hamilton? Okay, we're behind Bottas, which we were going to be anyway. Nope. Russell. Pretty good stop, 2.8. That's been typical of our stops. Russell might not get in the top 10, but I don't know whether I should have done it or not. I think I'm going to say yes because they were struggling and they may have crashed. Conditions are not going to get up to wet again, so on the right tyres. Struggling a bit there, Russell. So let's have a look now then. So Hamilton's in 8th behind Bottas. Big gaps all the way. It'll be Russell versus Ricciardo for a 10th position. Russell has, I actually didn't put the right percentage of intermediates on there. Oh well, that's one thing I did do wrong. I should have put 100% on, but I was trying to do it too quickly. So 8th place and 10th would be pretty much what we were going to get anyway. And if there was a safety car now, I'd be exactly on the right tyres. And it looks like we might take Russell here, take Ricciardo here. Not a great weekend, but better than last year. As I say, last year finished. Russell finished 4th, and Hamilton finished 13th. But Hamilton started 14th, and Russell started 11th. So better than last year, or should be. Just got to get this last point to make it justifiable. Not sure if Hamilton could have gone all the way on the intermediates. They were struggling with the warmth. We were getting overheating, so we pulled them in. So now it's just see if Russell can hunt down Ricciardo. He's getting close. Remember, Hamilton started 5th in this race, and Russell started 6th. It's damp conditions now, and it's not going to get up to the wet conditions of 4mm above. It's been very hard to work out the tyre strategies. Russell's tried the left, tried the right. Now he's trying... Oh. Hamilton says he's getting a little warm. There's nothing he can do about it. Oof. Ah. Russell's pushing too hard, but he hasn't gone down any more. Complain about the tyres. Okay. Technically, hards could survive, I suppose, on the wet conditions, but they wouldn't last very long. So Russell is gone backwards a little bit on Ricciardo. He did push it. Let's take it to the end of the race now. Can't see anything else that can happen. If safety car happens, we'll be happy with those intermediates. Been quite a few lockups and crashes, but no safety car. Just let you know, the new F1 23 edition, game edition, will have red flags. That will make it very interesting. Should be streaming that around next week. No, not next week. I'll give you a date for that later on. Oh my word, the weather's... Look at the weather, it's come down now. It's... Oh. Well, there's no choices. It's now technically wet conditions now. Is anyone going to pit to get home, or are they going to take it to the end? Hamilton actually does have a pit window of 32 seconds. And he could go for the fastest lap with the wet conditions.
So box.
Yeah, he's got 33 seconds. That should be enough. Meanwhile, Russell is tracking down Ricciardo. Fairly big gaps between them all, so they're probably all going to settle for the ending on the wets, the intermediates, even though it is now wet conditions over 4mm. So what I'm doing with Hamilton is pit him in, get him home, and he should get the fastest lap with fresh wets. No point doing anything to Russell, really. That must have been a heck of a flurry of rain for take that up to 4mm. Now Hamilton should get after the fastest lap. He's on the right tyres, on the right conditions. Russell, meanwhile, is still battling Ricciardo. Can he get this 10th place? Two of the top 10 would be just have a look at the contact. Yeah, so you can see that. Okay, it went up quite a bit, coming down now. Yeah, Russell still chasing Ricciardo. Ricciardo's got 77% intermediates and Russell's only got 71, so you'd think Ricciardo's going to win that battle. That's nice. Come on, Russell, get that point. Could be a big point. This is the place he could do it. I thought Hamilton would have got closer to this fastest lap, but he doesn't know how he's going to do it. He's going to get 8th though. Russell can play right his tyres. It's only a lap to go. Now, is there any gaps at the front? Any battles at the front? Leclerc from Verstappen 1.9, then 23 seconds back to Perez,
Okay, copy that.
11 seconds to Sainz, 19 seconds to Alonso, 18 to Ocon, Bottas 24, and Hamilton 17. So yeah, there's the leaderboard. So this is it, the last lap. And Russell. Oh, dearie me.
We can
Crashed at the
look now.
very end.
Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
Oh, dear me.
You can clearly see the contact there.
And
that
that's
caused a
an
lot
argument
of
for having
damage.
wets. If you had the wets, he probably would have got home.
Devastated. They'll be
Intermediates were not good
questioning
enough for
just
that,
what happened down
that
there.
conditions, hence the crash.
I think you have front wing damage.
Okay.
It's the end of the race anyway. If there is a safety car, it will end under the safety car at the end of the race anyway, so. And he's got a penalty as well. So, classic example, perhaps should have had the wets. May not have got the 10th place, but we didn't get it anyway, and we crashed. Just let Russell finish off.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. Let's take a closer look. Charles Leclerc there, taking home the win.
There you are. Leclerc wins.
What an amazing finish to a thrilling race. It's a
Very interesting race with the weather. Not sure if I got the strategy right. Ultimately, probably should have had wets for Russell, but the weather forecast didn't suggest it.
Flag now.
Do remember that.
No, but let's keep pushing, guys. I believe in you.
There you go. Hamilton's
believe in you
not
too.
too disappointed in 8th. Russell will have a penalty. That's not good news. Yeah, so looking at the track, yeah, so the forecast actually is 60% you can see on there, and if we upgrade our weather centre, we'll get 70% forecast accuracy. So that's something I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to do that before we finish this stream. It's not a hard thing to do. A lot of money, but not hard to do. So 8th in the end, which is pretty much what it was going to be anyway. And Russell, perhaps we should have put him on to wets, but the wet condition made that very interesting. So happy to get home 8th for Hamilton, but not the crash at the end. I say the expectations our board have is that we finish 3rd, I think it is. So we should be okay. So Leclerc wins, just over a second, and then there's big gaps to Perez 23 seconds, Sainz 9 seconds, Alonso 20, Ocon 18, and then further back. Hamilton is 8th. So look what that does to constructors. Ferrari have a impressive lead at the top from Red Bull, and Mercedes a little bit behind what they should be, 31 points, 12 points behind Alfa Romeo, who Bottas is driving quite well for. Driver wise, Hamilton is 6th in the standings, and as I say, Bottas has got double the amount of points of his previous teammate. Russell has 15 points. Okay, so suspension has been made. What I'm going to do before I end is... So yeah, our season objective is 3rd and above. I'm going to look at the facilities for the first time with Mercedes this year. we're going to do is, I think it's the operational facilities. It is. There's the weather centre. We're going to upgrade it. "24 days, over 1.5 million or so." Okay, that's on its way. And what we're going to do is we're going to finish. Thank you for watching. Catch you again. This is a free stream Tuesday. 2 streams to come. A little bit late on what I wanted to do. Next up in about... Let's have a look at the time. Running about half an hour late. That's because it was a very interesting race. There were lots of decisions to be made with the wet conditions. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I'll be back in about 12:30, and we will be having our second stream today and our second motorsport. That motorsport will be the World Endurance Championship, which Le Mans is part of. Le Mans is in June, and we'll be driving on the Gran Turismo sport game, and we'll be driving in the Toyota car. So not exactly the right car, explain that later, that will be used in the Le Mans race. After that, it will be William Byron, who won at Darlington in the NASCAR at the weekend. Last time we did this stream, Byron won as well. He won at Las Vegas that time. It will be qualifying and race for him on NASCAR. So that's NASCAR 21 Ignition game, and that'll be the lot for today. Anyway, so I hope you can catch the streams later on. Looks like my controller issues are sorted out, which is pleasing for me. Thanks for watching. Catch you again. Bye bye.